Well, folks, the Sig 320 fire has continued to grow the last few days. It's been pretty interesting. What I'm noticing more and more comments, I would say people accepting that, yeah, there's something wrong with the gun. As well as the people not accepting that seem to be, it seems like there's something wrong with them, like a lot of them. So, for example, I did post it to this channel and I posted it to my Instagram page. It got a lot of views on Instagram, like 500,000. Video of a soldier holstering a gun into a retention holster. I don't believe it's a Serpa. It's a Serpa style holster, which is not good, but holsters it in there. And then you see the retention device kind of click open and then the gun goes off and it looks like, I don't see how that could have been an obstruction in there. I don't see how that's possible that he got the gun to be retained and then it goes off and he pulls his hand away. There's no obstructions in there. But despite that, there's a few people saying that that was his finger that set the gun off. I'm not sure how that's possible. That seems like craziness to me. It seems obvious enough that experienced people should know the difference. I did notice Bruce Gray made a comment on there that actually really irritated me. He said, there we go. I pray he's uninjured and learns from his gun handling error. On the video of a guy holstering a SIG and it going off, it's like, wow. I did call Bruce a scumbag. Like I've said pretty consistently, I don't like the guy. He did fix up one of my guns, but at the same time, I don't like him because of that, because he's a dirtbag. He's doing the fake Christian thing to try to cover for what looks like a gun issue. I don't really like that. Another interesting thing I've seen, I saw it posted on a couple of places on comments, I think on YouTube. It was great. It was like, Ben is doing this because he's angry that he wasn't allowed a spot on Team Sig years ago. It's like, oh, you guys are so, it's like, this is awesome. No, Sig has never had tryouts and then told me I couldn't go. Like, it's obvious Sig would never, like, these companies would never hire someone like me. Never. Never, ever. Now, I'm good with that. I'm very okay with that. But you have to understand, I'm not very corporate friendly, and I never have been. And then the other thing is you look at these guys on, not just on Sig's team, but I'll use like Max Michel as an example. Like you look at these guys who are like competitive shooters, they get into their 40s, and you're just like, man, this guy looks like a cancer patient now. He looks like dead inside. Like, why would you want to emulate anything he's doing? His life probably sucks. Like, can you imagine being on Sig's team and like needing the money and then having to like pretend you think the guns are good? Oh my God. I think I would rather not be alive, I think, than do that. All right. Now, enough of that. Let's go to your comments on the Sig stuff here. Should be great. Should be some good shit. Yes. Go to the latest comment videos. Alrighty. You guys always have good comments. All right. Here's one listing some cases. I pinned this to the top, but listing cases. Abrahams versus Sig Sauer lost 11 million. Armendariz versus Sig Sauer ongoing. Ortiz versus Sig Sauer ongoing. Vadnayas versus Sig Sauer settled. Hartley et al. Versus Sig Sauer settled. Sherpiers versus Sig Sauer settled. Why do they keep paying out if there's no issue? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have heard about this, that there's been settlements, there's been this and that happening behind the scenes. Yeah. No one responded, so I'll ask again here. What even is the issue? And if it's real and proof has been posted, why aren't people reproducing the issue in a controlled environment? Why aren't there dozens of videos showing it? These are not rhetorical questions. I'm legitimately asking. I mean, there's a lot of people posting, what they think is going on or their theories for what's going on, that kind of stuff. Quite a few people. All right, here's a fun comment. After thorough waterboarding, Officer Barrio admitted that the 320 is safe. That's the case that Sig is like spiking the football, that this case is, they're not saying it's a settlement. It's just like this officer's now filed with the court saying, no, the Sig is super safe and it's good. And it didn't just go off in the holster. Or a follow-on comment to that, LOL, probably more like after an NDA was signed along with a sizable payoff, Officer Barrio admitted the 320 is safe. Well, I hate to say it, but that's what it looks like. Like, that's the sort of thing you start thinking when it's like, man, there's just so much of this. Another one. Ben, I am a trial attorney in Texas, licensed to practice in all Texas state courts and all federal courts in Texas. I looked at the online docket of Green Barrios versus Sig Sauer. That's the one that, again, just like the officer filed the thing saying the gun is safe. And something is fishy. They were on the eve of trial when the plaintiff moved to dismiss the case for no apparent reason. To me, this says they settled with the plaintiff and required him to file the motion to dismiss with the language cited by Sig in order to get paid. No plaintiff's attorney spends the enormous time and money to get such a case to trial and then dismisses the case right before trial for no obvious reason, unless there's been a confidential settlement. Like, well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, what you're saying totally tracks. It makes sense. Like, I don't know if that's true, but I guess maybe we'll never know if that particular case was true. Oh, my God. It did not, in fact, end that day, actually. Like, no, it did not. Sig is now manufacturing content for Ben Steger. Absolutely they are. Thank you, Sig. Much appreciated. Sig is like a person walking into a room after someone blew up the bathroom and 10 people in the room saying it stinks, yet Sig is the only one who says, I don't smell anything. Yes, that could be. That could definitely be true. Everyone, the P320 is unsafe. Sig should admit it and work on fixing the issues. Sig, oh yeah? Well, one of the police officers that had our gun go off in his holster took a payout to say the 320 is actually safe. So there. Oh, it is so good. I can't believe this is still going. They really sigged the bed on this one. Oh, they did so bad. They did so bad. All the private settlements Sig paid out for P320 injuries are bizarre for a safe handgun. Yeah, I imagine that is pretty weird if the gun is not have problems. This is a case study in how not to handle issues as serious as this. Sig is making an epic mistake. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody thinks Sig is handling this well. Probably not people that work at Sig. That would be crazy. All right, I think the most interesting case is the Montville, Connecticut police incident. I think that's the one where there's footage of it going off in the holster as the officer leans forward a little and it goes off, if I'm remembering right. Sig made a statement on their website pointing to the hood of the holster, which is actually a tourniquet holder mounted to the holster, stating the hood was down and the gun was not seated properly. The video footage was from a camera in the lobby. There has since been new body cam footage released that shows the gun properly holstered with the hood properly secured when the gun went off. They have yet to correct their statement. No, this is like the guys on the one that I posted. They're like, oh, but that's his middle finger it's his middle finger that's hanging off the gun like this, and you don't see the trigger finger, so when he holsters it, then he has his trigger finger, and then it goes off. And you're like, how the fuck would it click into the retention? How would that, like, what you're, like, I understand what you're saying. Like, that doesn't make sense given what you're seeing here. It's kind of like, it's like that. They'll take a video there's always a little ambiguity to it, and they'll look at it and just run with it. Like, these people are nuts. Good to see Protraband getting credit for all his work. Yes, he's done quite good work. 6 a.m. trolling is wild. I'm trying to pray for the day, and Ben over here enticing me with the drama. Yes, dude. It is 5 a.m. as I record this, and I'm fired up. I'm ready to do some drama. We're going to do some drama. We're going to go do a class. I'm going to shoot my Glock 47. Maybe I'll shoot my Atlas. I don't know yet. And then I'm going to get on a plane. I'm going to fly home. Should be a banger fucking day, man. All right. Sig has to realize at some point saying that used by the government doesn't inspire confidence because anyone who's worked for the government knows what level of crap is government. Suppose that's true. How Sig can continue to deny the issue is a complete slap in our face. Yeah, it is. My local PD has actually banned the P320 for duty use. Great channel, Steger. No, there's more PDs. I'm hearing from a lot of different people. There's more PDs are going to ban the Sig. And it's at the point where it's like I don't want anything, I wouldn't want anything to do with Sig. Like, as a company, you're just like, man, fuck these guys. It's like, fuck these guys. It's the same as like Bruce Gray. Like, I used his services last year, and I look at his comment like blaming this soldier with his gun going off, and I'm like, You know, Bruce, like, fuck you, dude. Like, honestly, I don't want anything to do with that guy. Ugh. It's gross. Sig Sauer should fire the social media person. I'd say she should step down voluntarily, but as a Sig, she can't fire herself, clearly. They should fire. I mean, their social media approach on this is crazy. It's crazy. I mean, they're not engaging with any like sincere and credible sort of criticism or questions. They don't engage with it. They're just like, oh, there's no issue. There's no issue. Like, this officer says that the gun is safe, y'all. Like, it's good. There are still people defending Sig, like Sig is a family member. No amount of proof will move the needle with people like that. No, there are people like that. I mean, I don't like use it, but I've heard that like there's a Sig subreddit that's like banning people for posting stuff about this or whatever. And it's like, that's crazy. It's a gun. Like, you shouldn't be like hyper defensive about it. Just be like, okay, I've seen enough. There's probably some kind of issue. Then you look at what Sig's saying and you're like, that doesn't seem believable. It's like not that hard to figure out. It's amazing to me how many people believe that guns go off by themselves. Every single case was negligence. Like, I wouldn't say that. Like, you can post that and that's a little bit funny, but like, I wouldn't say it like to, what's his name? Genghis Khan, the YouTuber who posted, I mean, the incident was a couple years ago where his 320 Legion went off, hit his knife. He well documented, made a video about it. It's like, I have no reason to think that what he was doing was negligent, like at all. And then with how animated he is in the comments on this stuff, it's like, he believes his gun went off in the holster without him doing anything. He definitely believes that. It's like, I don't think he was being negligent. Like, and I've heard too many similar type of cases where I'm not going to say, I wouldn't say like, hey, it's all negligence. Now, my opening thing with like the Sig 320s, like my opening posture, like when they were blowing up and Sig was like, hey, it's ammo. I was like, that makes sense. I do competitive shooting. Like, I see what guys do with ammo. Like, it makes sense to me that they blow up when guys reload ammo wrong. All right. And then I saw a couple of them blow up and it's like, were you using reloads? And they're like, yes, I was. All right. And then like in my head, I'm like, okay, this is somehow related to reloaded ammunition, whatever. And then I got more information. I heard it's like, oh, we got a problem with the military ones here. One of those blew up. And I'm like, that's not reloaded ammunition. So like my opinion evolved over time is what I'm saying. It's the same as when you hear that a guy's gun's going off in his holster. It's like, oh, like, no, you were fucking with it. Like, that's your default is like, you were fucking with it. Of course you think that. But then you hear enough cases like that and you get specific detailed cases. You start to get video and you're like, okay, my default position, if your gun goes off in the holster, like probably you did that. Like you were messing with it and you're lying about it. Sure. Like, I don't think that, I mean, in the cases of the SIGs, like, nope, there's something else happening too. Like, there's just too much. And it's like, hard-headed guys are never gonna evolve their opinion to fit the facts as the facts continue to come out. People are stupid, a lot of them. As I said earlier, sales of the P320 are not going to be helped by this approach, right, wrong, or indifferent. There are too many other guns out there without this baggage. Yes. Why even look at it at this point? You're like, even if you don't believe, whatever, irrespective of what you believe, you're like, look at Sig's social media game. They seem like complete retards. There's maybe a problem with this gun. Like, well, there's plenty of other guns. I'll just buy one of those. All right. At this point, a study by an independent group of engineers and experts needed to be formed with the purpose of discovering any flaws in materials or design that could possibly result in the gun firing without the trigger being pulled. This study would need to be totally transparent, made public, and without any SIG influence. I mean, to be honest, I suspect, like I don't know this, but I strongly suspect that SIG understands precisely what's happening here. Like, I would really think that. I'd be surprised if they didn't. All right. The P320 and its loyal followers should be used in every marketing department as an example of brand loyalty. Yeah, they should. There's always going to... That's true. SIG settles out of court and pays lots of money. Also, SIG, see, it's safe. It's a great comment right there. Great comment. So good. What can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Yes, that's unfortunately there's some pretty strong evidence at this point for Sig. P320 is having a Bud Light moment. That's a good. I mean, it's one of those like self-inflicted like marketing blunders. It's like they don't need to do this. Here we go. So Sig basically bled a single police officer in Puerto Rico dry by dragging the court case out for 3 years and stacking the deck with experts. When his bank account was empty, he was forced to drop the case, and Sig gets the win. Sig is I mean, I don't know. Like other guys are saying there's a settlement. But Sig is an awful company. Its issues go far beyond the P320. At this point, I'm starting to hope that it goes out of business, which is sad because I used to be a Sig fanboy in the P226 days. Yeah, it is a little bit sad. It is a little bit sad. Sig is becoming the Boeing of the gun industry. That's a good one. It's true. You know, you've really got to hand it to Sig. You cannot train like you fight without accidentally NDing yourself once in a while. Their ability to make a gun that has ND sporadically enough to cause a stir, but not often enough to create a recall is incredible. The P320 is a marvel of engineering. It kind of is. It kind of is. I wonder what they internally estimate the magnitude of potential financial losses, lost contracts, and brand reputation damages, such that they are sticking with the "it's not the gun, it's you, and you, and you, and you too" strategy. Yeah, I mean, I think there's substantial money at stake for Sig. To be honest, like there's a lot. There's got to be, and if they admit that there's a problem, like who knows how many dominoes fall at that point. All right, Sig should just start drawing up their bankruptcy papers. They're done. Like, maybe. Like, it seems if I owned a company that was producing a product that was doing this and I was acting in this way, I would not expect to be in business forever. Let me put it that way. I would expect that this is going to catch up with me. There aren't enough hours in the day for them to respond to all the criticism. If the P320 was safe, why so many iterations of the same product? Why not openly disclosing all the changes and generations? Pretty sure some pencil pusher told them we can settle 20 cases before a recall is cost effective. Sig, full steam ahead. Maybe. I've been in the military firearms instructor for the past 12 years. We got the M18 after Sig won the contract years ago. That's my reserve job. I'm also a federal officer on the same base and am issued an M18 as a duty weapon. In my experience, after all these rounds fired and the M18 being carried, going through all these classes, I've never heard of anyone NDing at my base. Yeah. I can check the SharePoint for any cases at other bases at the time I get on my computer. The one issue we have with them is unlike the P320 Carry Pro, where the optic plate has 2 screws and the top fixed sight, the M18 has 1 screw from the bottom that holds not only the optic plate and the rear sight. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, so you don't like that. So he's going to go on to explain why he's mad about that part. Okay, I mean, fair enough. I love my P365, but this is such a hilarious crash out, and I'm loving every minute of it. Yeah, you and me both, brother. I love my P365, the rainbow one. I love my 226. I'm a little bit scared of my 320. Well, I have more than one 320. Like my old one, I don't even shoot it anymore. I've got a really old one. I'm like, I don't think I should play with that. I'll play with my newer one. It's funny how Sig was able to make the best striker gun ever by quickly and minimally altering the design of an ill-conceived hammer-fired gun that the market quickly rejected. It even started out with exactly the same fat trigger, which they subsequently lightened for no particular reason. Why buy from Smith & Wesson or Walther or Glock when you can have the low bidder for a big military contract? There you go. Perfect. Hey, Ben, I love your content. A check from Sig must have been sent to Bruce Gray at Gray Guns. On his website, he wrote a comment about the renewed discussion surrounding the Sig Sauer P320. There's a paragraph on what we've found and what we're still testing, all in favor of Sig. Of course, the check cashed. Yeah, like I mentioned at the top of the video, I think Bruce is a scumbag. Like I really am not impressed with how he's handling this. Okay. Well, that's enough for now. This should be your daily drama fix. Put your comments below, guys. Yeah, we'll see what else pops up in the next few days.